You have debt. Maybe it's credit cards, maybe student loans, maybe a combination of both, plus a car loan and a medical bill sitting in collections. You've tried to pay it off before. You made a plan. You stuck to it for 2 months. Something came up. The plan fell apart. The debt is still there. The problem wasn't your discipline. The problem was the method. Most debt payoff advice treats debt elimination as a math problem. Find the highest interest rate. Attack it first. Minimize total interest paid. Mathematically correct. Behaviorally catastrophic for most people. Because debt is not primarily a math problem, debt is a psychology problem, and solving it requires a method that accounts for how humans actually behave under financial stress, rather than how we should behave in a spreadsheet. Today, we go through the method that actually works, not the most mathematically optimal one, the one that produces real payoff for real people in real life. Why most people fail at debt payoff. Before the method, the diagnosis. Most debt payoff attempts fail for one of 3 reasons. The plan requires too much sacrifice too fast. You cut everything. No eating out, no entertainment, no anything. You last 6 weeks. Deprivation without visible progress breaks most people. The math-first approach produces invisible progress. You attack your largest, highest interest debt. Months pass. The balance barely moves. You're paying mostly interest. You feel like nothing is happening. You stop. Life interrupts. An unexpected expense hits. The money you'd allocated to debt goes to the emergency. The plan collapses. You restart from scratch. A method that works has to account for all 3 of these failure points. It has to produce visible wins. It has to be sustainable. It has to survive interruption. The method: debt snowball with system protection. The debt snowball is not new. Dave Ramsey popularized it. Research from Harvard Business School and other institutions has validated it. But most people execute it wrong. They understand the concept and miss the infrastructure that makes it work. Here's the full method. Step 1. Every debt, smallest to largest, by balance. Not by interest rate, by balance. Credit card 1, $800. Medical bill, $1,200. Credit card 2, $3,400. Car loan, $7,800. Student loan, $22,000. This list becomes your attack order. Step 2. Pay minimum payments on everything except the smallest. Every debt gets its minimum payment. Religiously. No exceptions. Missing minimum payments creates late fees, credit score damage, and additional stress. Minimums on everything. Step 3. Attack the smallest debt with every available dollar. Every dollar above minimum payments goes to the smallest balance. Not split between debts. All of it. To one debt. Until it's gone. The $800 credit card gets everything above minimums. Step 4. When the smallest debt is gone, roll its payment to the next. The $800 credit card required a minimum of $35. You were also paying an extra $150 monthly toward it. When it's paid off, you don't get that $185 back. It rolls to the $1,200 medical bill, minimum, plus the snowballed payment from the first debt. The snowball grows with each payoff. Each eliminated debt accelerates the next. The psychology behind why this works. Here's why snowball outperforms avalanche despite being mathematically inferior. Complete victories matter more than mathematical efficiency. When you pay off the $800 credit card, something specific happens neurologically. You won. You beat a creditor completely. The account is at 0. The monthly statement no longer exists. That feeling of complete victory is more motivating than any amount of intellectual understanding that you're making progress on a larger debt. Research on goal completion shows that finishing something produces significantly more motivation than making equivalent progress toward a larger goal. The snowball method generates frequent finishes. Frequent finishes generate momentum that sustains behavior. The avalanche method produces no complete victories for months or years. You're reducing a large balance slowly. Intellectually correct. Emotionally deflating. Most people don't fail at debt payoff because they don't understand compound interest. They fail because the emotional experience of the payoff process breaks them before they finish. Snowball addresses the emotional experience. Avalanche optimizes the math. For the majority of people, the emotional experience is the binding constraint. The system protection layer. Here's the piece that most snowball explanations miss, the part that makes the difference between a plan that survives real life and one that collapses at the first obstacle. Before you attack debt aggressively, build a small emergency buffer, $1,000 minimum, not fully funded emergency fund, not 3 to 6 months of expenses, $1,000 in a separate account you don't touch. Here's why this changes everything. Without the buffer, every unexpected expense destroys your debt payoff momentum. Car repair, medical copay, appliance replacement, any of these forces you to either go further into debt or abandon your payoff plan temporarily. With $1,000 sitting in a separate account, most unexpected expenses are handled without disrupting your debt payoff plan. You use the buffer, you replenish it, you keep the snowball rolling. The $1,000 buffer is not where you stop. It's the floor that keeps the system running during life's inevitable interruptions. Some people argue you should build a full emergency fund before attacking debt. For high-interest consumer debt, I disagree. The interest cost of waiting to build a full emergency fund while carrying 20% credit card debt is too high. $1,000 protects the plan without delaying payoff unnecessarily. The income side, what actually compresses the timeline. Cutting expenses has limits. There's a floor to how much you can cut. Income has no ceiling. Every dollar of additional income directed at debt compresses the timeline dramatically. The people who pay off significant debt in 12 to 18 months are almost never doing it through expense cuts alone. They're generating additional income and directing it entirely at debt. What this looks like practically in 2026. Gig work, DoorDash, Uber, Instacart, TaskRabbit. The income is real. The flexibility is real. 3 to 4 hours on a Saturday can produce $100 to $150 directed entirely at the smallest debt. Selling things. Every household has hundreds to thousands of dollars of stuff that could be sold. eBay, Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist. A focused selling weekend can produce $300 to $500. Overtime or extra shifts. If available in your current job, temporary overtime directed at debt has no overhead and no ramp-up time. Freelance skills, writing, design, coding, accounting, photography, tutoring. If you have a marketable skill, someone will pay for it on a project basis. The additional income doesn't need to be large. An extra $300 monthly on a $3,000 credit card balance eliminates it in roughly 8 months instead of several years. The specific numbers that reveal why speed matters. $3,000 credit card balance at 18% interest. Minimum payment only takes approximately 11 years to pay off. Total interest paid, approximately $2,800. You pay nearly double the original balance. Adding $100 monthly above minimum, paid off in approximately 28 months. Total interest, approximately $650. Adding $300 monthly above minimum, paid off in approximately 9 months. Total interest, approximately $220. The speed of payoff doesn't just save time, it saves money. The faster you eliminate the balance, the less interest accrues. And the faster you eliminate the first debt, the sooner the snowball hits the second one at full speed. What to do about student loans? Student loans require specific consideration because they're typically the largest balance and have the most complex terms. Federal student loans have income-driven repayment options. If you're pursuing public service loan forgiveness, minimum payments on federal loans while attacking other debts make sense. The forgiveness program rewards lower payments, not higher ones. If you're not pursuing forgiveness, federal loan interest rates are often lower than credit card rates. In the snowball order, they typically sit at the back of the line behind higher rate consumer debt. Private student loans at high interest rates belong in the snowball like any other high interest debt. The specific placement depends on interest rate and forgiveness eligibility. Know your rates. Know your forgiveness status. Place accordingly. The method that actually works is not the one with the best math. It's the one you actually finish. The debt snowball with a $1,000 emergency buffer and aggressive additional income generation produces real payoff results for real people because it's built around how humans actually behave rather than how they should behave theoretically. Complete victories generate momentum. Momentum sustains behavior. Sustained behavior eliminates debt. The buffer protects the plan from life's interruptions. Additional income compresses the timeline from years to months. You've tried before. It didn't work. That doesn't mean you can't do it. It means the method was wrong for how you actually work. This method is designed for how you actually work. List the debts, smallest to largest. Build $1,000 in buffer. Attack the smallest debt with everything above minimums. Roll the payment forward when it's gone. Generate additional income and direct it entirely at debt. Then do not stop until it is done. The math will work. The momentum will build. The debt will end.